Okay, let's go back to looking at actual cards, deck tech, and all that happy horseshit. Everybody loves looking at cards, right? So for this deck, I'm going to make two changes. One of them is purely cosmetic. I'm going to be swapping out the Visions Grasslands for this Grasslands because I want to put in the Mountain Valley. My LGS, if they had a Mirage Mountain Valley, I would have gotten that and swapped it in. But since they did not have the Mirage version, I went ahead and got the Grasslands in the modern frame as well, so they match. I like it aesthetically when the lands match. That's why if you look at my deck list, if I have one Khans fetch land in a deck, the other allied fetch lands will be Khans too. That's why, for example, I'm pretty sure Edgar Markov, I'm pretty sure he has Onslaught fetch lands because I built him a long time ago when I still had Onslaught fetch lands to give him. But as I started running out, everybody's getting Khans now, so because they're cheaper, like half the price. So the Grasslands is just a one-for-one swap. The Mountain Valley, I have to take something out for. The deck has 36 lands, so I could take out land for land. That is a possibility. The thing is, with this deck, as it was my first experiment with centering the Manabase on green. So, Voja has no shock lands, fetch lands, pain lands, check lands, any of that shit that are red-white. He's got all the green red ones, all the green white ones, but none of the red white ones, none of the linking ones. Mainly because I didn't have a few of them. I didn't feel like chasing them, and the deck is really heavy green because of the elves. Oh my god, is it heavy green. So I'm looking at Moxield right now. If you scroll down, Moxield gives you a breakdown. The deck is 73% green, 22% white, 16% red, 3% colorless. So, and in actual play, not having the red-white lands hasn't really mattered. Now, it's not fully true. I do have Jungle Shrine, so I do have the well, it's not a Triome because it's not the land types, it's Tri-land. And once I get a, what the hell's his name? The Kitty Demon. When I get the Kitty Demon's Garden, when I get another copy of that, the fuck is that guy's name? The Kitty Demon with the gardens. Jetmir. When I get another copy of Jetmir's Gardens, I'll replace the Jungle Shrine with it, or just put it in as an additional land. Maybe I'll take a force out. So anyway, what the hell is this deck trying to do? What is the foundation of it? So, Voja, Jaws of, I'm just going to sit here and telegraph exactly how you should build this deck. 2 green, red, white for a 5/5 legendary wolf. Vigilance, Trample, Ward 3. Okay, so far so good. Why the hell should this guy be your commander? Because whenever he attacks, you put a +1/+1 on counter on all your creatures, all of them, including himself, where X is the number of elves you control, and you draw a card for each wolf you control. So he basically says, look, dude, get some lands, stack some elves, stack some wolves, sleeve me up, and smash face. It's pretty fucking simple. In fact, Pleasant Kenobi did a whole video where he's talking about how this is just a pushed commander. It's just really basic. And he's right. It is push, it is basic, but it is fun to play. So I built it. I had to tune it a lot because the wolves, there really aren't that many good wolves in Magic. There really aren't. I had to stretch and reach and struggle to get the wolves. I didn't want to just cheat with shapeshifters. Yes, I did cheat with a few, but I kept it to a minimum, I think. So anyway, Voja demands elves and wolves. Being 3 colors and being so heavy green, I decided, like I said, to only have green centered. So that way, for ramp, he's got no rocks. He's got a lot of mana elves, so that's where a lot of his mana rent comes from. He's got 3 visits Nature's Lore, Green Sun Zenith. No, that doesn't find lands. It'll find an elf that can find land, though, and cultivate. So I've got 3 sorcery ramp spells, and I've got a bunch of mana elves in order to find his colors. I also have, the reason he doesn't have mana rocks is one idea of the deck. One of the key cards I want to get out early, if at all possible, is, where the hell is it? Yeah, Titania Song. Titania Song, 3 and a green. All non-creature artifacts in play, shut it down. They shut off. They become artifact creatures, power totals equal to their casting cost, and lose all other abilities. The only artifacts I have in this deck are a scroll rack and a swift foot boots. So it's not just because it's another way of giving haste. The other way is Indigo Montoya. So I plan to shut off the art. I should probably put another duplicate of that card. I have Idyllic Tutor to find it. But I'm thinking that's somewhat inadequate. I should put in a third way to find it. So anyway, let's look at the lands because I want to switch out something for that. Let's just take all the fucking lands out. Let's do that. Let's make a land stack. Land. Yeah, there's one of the cheating shapeshifters I've got. Changeling cheatlings. So these are one of the cheatlings I've got. 2 and a white. Spend X, creature to grow up it, become XX, and gain all creature types. Damn, it's been a long day. Until end of turn. So, I don't think I have Cradle in this deck. No, but I've got Growing Arts of Idlimok that'll flip to Cradle, so. Yeah, if he's in play, I spend, say, 6. All my little elves become 6/6, and then they become wolves and elves both, so I attack, and if I've got 10 creatures, they all get 10 +1/+1 encounters, and I draw 10 cards. So, nasty. Let's see, we're the Reliquary Tower, you have Maya, Cradle of Growth, Forest, Jungle Shrine. So, I missed a forest. I'm only running 36 land, so it would probably be a good idea to, even though I've got all the mana elves, what I should probably do is take out an actual card. There's the grasslands I'll take out. Take out an actual card instead of taking out a land, so that would up the land count to 37, which is a better number overall. In all my playing and all my deck building, my feeling, my experience is that 37 is a good number of lands to have. Some decks can have a bit less, like Tivar, because he's got a lot of mana elves. But even now, playing him, I don't have quite enough mana elves, even though it's a mono elf deck, tribal elves, and I think I need to up his mana count, land count, from 36 to 37. So it's not a stretch that it would help Voja if I did the same. So 1, 2, 3, 4. $20. $35. Okay, 36 for the grasslands. So I should probably do that. I should probably take out a card instead of a land for the Mountain Valley. That's probably a better idea. It's definitely a safer idea. Let's go with safer. So let's see what we have. Let's see what is definitely staying. Anything that's an elf or a wolf, I'll put in a 2 pile. So there's an elf. Whenever I cast a creature, draw a card, so I definitely want that. And the wolves, I don't really need to explain them. I kind of will, but since there aren't that many good elves, or good wolves, there aren't that many good wolves, it's not like I can just start taking out wolves to do anything. Let me check the breakdown right quick. So the deck has 17 elves and 17 wolves. So, plus there are, I think there's only one changeling. Let's see. Why doesn't it have changeling as a type? See, I'm looking at this, so you can see 17 elves. But changeling, I want to see how many changelings I've got. It doesn't. Oh, shapeshifter. That's the type. Duh. Okay. So I have one shapeshifter. So I have 17 elves plus 1. I have 17 wolves plus 1. Runebound Wolf. I haven't had him to play yet. So with the new policy I have of rolling the die every Thursday, unless I have a deck to test, I haven't played Voja. I haven't played a good number of my decks. I only get to play once a week. This is another reason I get so pissed off at the changes. I've thought about it. Why do, like, today they said fucking starships can be your commander. A starship as your commander. That's retarded. It's like the Enterprise, the ship, telling the crew what to do. You know, the Enterprise saying, no, Kirk, you're going to stay here. You're going to send some red shirts down because the bridge crew needs to stay safe on the ship. Let's use our fucking brains. I don't know if any of you saw Gavin's video where he's talking about how they're going to allow vehicles, artifacts, that have a power and toughness. Don't want to answer that? And let me answer that. I'm going to lose my flow, though. Okay, let's wrap through it. Sora was always complaining about fucking starships as the commander. Makes no goddamn sense. I don't like it. And I thought about why is it I really don't like these changes. Part of it is because I don't get to play that often. I play about once per week. And these changes are coming so fast, so furious, that yet it doesn't feel like I can enjoy what I have. I want to enjoy the cards I have. Look at all these old cards. Like, that's a few years old. All these cards are a few years old. None of the cards are that. Urbrasid, he's ancient. Nature's Lord, it's been around forever. Eternal Witness, she's been kicking around since the dawn of time. I want to enjoy these cards. I want to play them. But I have 20 decks. I only play once per week. So I don't always take I only take 3 out of 20, so there's no way in hell I'd take all 20 decks. It wouldn't make any fucking sense. And when I play the deck, I want to enjoy the deck for what it is. I want to see what my opponents have. I don't want to deal with any kind of fucking weird bullshit that puts a spanner in the works. Like, somebody's commander is a dead artifact. Okay, so typically somebody plays a commander like Voja. If Voja is a problem, somebody will Wrath of God or kill it or do something. Yes, there are artifact creature commanders, and there are a few planeswalker commanders, a blessed few, but in general, you can deal with somebody's. If somebody plays an artifact as their commander, they probably have different ways of protecting it. Yes, there are numerous ways of destroying artifacts, but it's not as common as ways to kill a creature, ways of dealing with a creature. Like Runebound Wolf. So, oh, that's the point. Never mind, I was thinking something else. And I don't like the idea that before I can really enjoy what I have, what I've worked for a long time, and really thought about and struggled to build and see how it works, that I have all this new nonsense to worry about. All these new, fucking cactar, 10,000 when it attacks. Oh, and then I fling it. You're just done. Okay, great. Next game, I guess. So one reason why I don't like all this new bullshit is because it interferes with my ability to enjoy the decks I built for the environment I've built them to work in. If the environment changes significantly, the deck no longer works that well. That's just the way it is. That's why over time a lot of my decks have fallen by the wayside, because they were no longer able to keep up with what my opponents were doing, or they became unplayable as planned as the environment changed. Hirobi is an example. Once people started having all kinds of random shit that targets things, Hirobi running him out and then killing everything by targeting them that wasn't mine no longer became a viable strategy. Another one is Carador. Carador, eventually, he went from being a house, tribal spirits, to just too slow. The environment sped up around him, and I could not make him fast enough to stay on par because of the nature of having a tribal spirit deck. It just didn't work. And the more bullshit they put in the game, the more they warp things, the faster they do power creep and introduce shit like having a dead artifact as your commander. Yeah, it can become a live artifact later, but initially it's a dead artifact. That gives a little bit of benefit initially, but they'll tune that. They'll make them really good. They'll make them chase mythics. I have faith in them. So anyway, let's get back to what we're doing. Okay, so I'll set that here. Okay, this flips over into in a land. So in a way, it's land number 37, but since it's not quite, and the experience of T-VAR has shown that I shouldn't count on it flipping over. So I want to put in 37th land. So elves and wolves I will not consider for excision unless they're just not that good. Wolves will be really hard because I said I've got pretty much all the good wolves in here and there aren't that many, and I've only got 17. Like I've got an ambush wolf in here. Flash, when it comes into play, exile a creature card from one target card from graveyard. Okay, big deal. 4/2 for 3 mana. Flash, not very exciting. Fauna Shaman, survival of the fittest on legs. Urbrask the Hidden, my creatures have haste. Find a forest. I really should get the Triumph since I have that Eternal Witness. So she's a human, so she doesn't count. This is basically Nature's Lore with a different name. Arland Cord. Do I want her? Until end of turn, up to one target creature gets +2/+2 vigilance and haste. For nothing, I can put a wolf creature token onto the battlefield, and then I can transform her, and she only costs 4. When she flips over, creatures grow, get +1/+1, and trample till end of turn. Okay, that can be huge. That can be really significant. Neg 1, Arland Embraced by the Moon deals 3 damage to our creature or player, and then she flips back into the other Arland. Or I can neg 6, I get an emblem with creatures I control have haste and tap, creature deals damage equal to its power to our creature or player, which that can end the game right there depending on how many creatures I have and how big they are. So I think she should stay. Again, I've not played her. I haven't even had her in play. I don't even know how she works really in practice, because I don't play this deck that often. Reconnaissance? The deck is all about attacking. So Reconnaissance is perfect. So I attack. Oh, you're going to etherize me. Okay, I'm pulling everybody back out of combat. I'm going to attack you. Oh, you're going to settle my wreckage? No. I'll let you take these token elves. You can settle their wreckage so I get lands. Everybody else is, they're coming home. So this is good in a deck that wants to keep attacking, because a lot of people, there's a lot of new combat tricks, a lot of surprises, a lot of things you can run into. And if your deck is all about attack, 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 because you want to put counters on your creatures and you want to draw cards, once you initiate the attack, there are very few cards that will change the outcome for you if you run into something that is unhelpful. So that stays. Let's see. Kind of felt like there was something in the sleeve, but no. Soul Sculptor. This is part of a funny little combo. I'll set this aside. We can talk about it. Elvish Mystic, Bounding Wolf, 2 and a green for a 3/2 flashing reacher. I mean, that's what I had to do. That's what I had to do to get the wolves for this deck. I had to run things like this. Elves. Okay, what are the 3 power elves that I have here? Okay, that finds a forest and just puts into play untapped. She destroys an artifact or enchantment. So there's a little disparity between the 3 mana elves and what they can do, and the 3 mana wolves and what they can do. Inigo, Avenging Swordsman. I got him because, now, yes, I've said many times I don't like Universes Beyond. I don't want to mix it with my in-universe cards. I made an exception for him because I could see Princess Bride being an in-universe set. I could see that being some combination of almost unglued, but not really, just because it's the nature of the film. And I really don't like the way Samut, Voice of Dissent, looks. I really don't like it. It looks like he's bent over with crippling constipation. Like, oh my guts! Oh, I shouldn't have eaten all that shit. No, I can't shit because I ate all that shit. Yes, you go over there and take care of yourself. So, Inigo, Avenging Swordsman, Samut, Voice of Dissent, Flash, Double Strike, Vigilance, Haste. Other creatures could all have haste. Why does he say other creatures could all have haste? Why couldn't he just say Double Strike, Vigilance, creatures you control have haste? That's basically what Urbrask says. So why does he say something different? I don't know. White, tap, untap another target creature. But he's cool. He stays. Nomade Shepherd. Okay, here's the combo. So this is just a cute little combo that I personally amuses me. Soul Sculptor. 1 and white target creature becomes enchantment and loses all abilities until somebody successfully casts a creature spell. Nomade Shepherd. Tap 4 and tap creatures you control, destroy an artifact or enchantment. So I can make a creature an enchantment, and I can destroy it. Repeatedly. Over and over again. As much as I want. Well, not really as much as I want, but every turn. Let's put an elf there. Bailiff Brittle, Entertainer. Creatures your opponents control with power less than his power are goaded. So the object is to get his power up as quickly as possible. Tollsmere, Friend of Wolves. 2 green, white for a 3/3 legendary elf scout. Comes to play, get a Voja. Whenever a wolf comes into play in my control, I gain 3 life. I was reading it, at first I was reading it, I didn't see the up to. I just kind of glanced over it and fights 1 target creature no control. So I thought every time I play wolf it has to fight something, so I didn't want to run him. And then somebody pointed out, it says up to, so you don't have to. And I said, thank you, and I put him in. Green Sun Zenith. Search library for a green creature card. Maybe I don't want this. Maybe I want to take out the tutor. I mean, that would make the deck more fun, wouldn't it? Is there anybody I would really need to tutors for? Not really. And I've got Fauna Shaman. Maybe I'll do that. Maybe I'll just take out the tutor. Swords, Plowshares. Deck doesn't have a whole lot of instant speed interaction, so keeping this in here. Wrath of God. All creatures play are buried. I like that. It's simple, clean, elegant. All creatures buried. They need to bring back buried. Since they're complaining about what they need to do, let's complain some more about wizards. Let's complain. Let's get this version to complain. If you don't want to hear me complain, skip ahead a couple minutes. Okay. They keep saying, you know, destroy target creature can't be regenerated. Buried, it's a fucking keyword. They love keywords. They're trying to cut down the text on cards. They're, instead of enters the battlefield or comes into play, they just say enters. Which is kind of stupid. It sounds like the creature's coming on stage. He's entering the stage. It's, to me, it's nonsense. Just, and for this sort of effect, if you kill a creature and it can't be regenerated, it is buried. You throw dirt on it, you call it a day. And since you're complaining, it's been how many years? When was this printed? I can't even read that. 1996. 1990, 30, almost 30 years. They printed these almost 30 fucking years ago as a cycle of allied colored fetch lands. And they haven't finished it. They haven't printed the enemy colored Mirage tap fetch lands. All they have to do, put them in commander decks. Commander players will love them, will buy the decks to get them. It'll be fantastic, but they're just fucking lazy, I guess. I don't know. Alright, so let's keep going. End rant. Clever concealment. So this stays because Voja, since he puts counters on my creatures as part of the protection suite, I want ways of having it so like Ghostway. Normally I would just put in Ghostway. Exile all your creatures, bring them back at the end of the turn. Well, if I do that, they lose all their counters. Clever Concealment, since they phase out, they do not lose their counters. Plus, it can be cheaper to cast. It can be essentially free if I've got a couple white dudes and a couple green-red dudes. The white dudes can play for the white, and the green-red dudes can pay for the colors. Cemetery Prowler. I don't know if I want this guy. I mean, 3 for 3/4, 1 green for 3/4 Vigilant Wolf, who just looks tough. He looks like a giant dog. He looks tough. When he comes into play or attacks, exile a card from a graveyard. So I have to do that. I don't like that I have to do that, but that's what it says. Spells you cast cost 1 less to cast for each card type they share with cards exiled summons. And that's pretty good. Again, I need to see how this works in practice because I don't play this deck that often. Swiftfoot Boots, another good way of giving haste. Give away some protection, as long as I don't have Titania Song, because Titania Song will shut it off. What is he meowing about? Let me find out what's going on with the... Alright, so this is going to be a 2-splice video. I don't even know where the hell I was. I was probably talking about Titania Song and Swiftfoot Boots. Okay. So for Partisan, so 2 in green, 3 mana for 2/2 Trampler. Whenever a wolf or werewolf you control becomes a target of instant or sorcery spell, I get a 2/2 green wolf creature. That's not going to happen that often. I don't have really any spells I'm going to target my creatures with, and it's not like my opponents are going to waste. Maybe they'll try to hit Voja with the Swords to Plowshares, but it has to be the target of it. If it's Wrath of God, if it's Blasphemous Act, it's just blanket. So I don't get shit. Even if I did, Wrath of God, it's going to die anyway. Heroic Intervention. Your dudes gain Hexproof and Indestructible until end of turn. Yep, that's useful. Vivian Reed. 3 green, +1, look at the top 4 cards of your library. You can show everybody a creature or land card from among them, put in your hand. The rest go on the bottom in random order. Neg 3. I run her in T-VAR. I've got a copy of her in T-VAR too. She's pretty damn cool. So I keep doing the +1, and then in T-VAR I get the emblem. The emblem being Neg 8. Creatures control get +2/+2, Vigilance, Trample, and Indestructible. Pretty goddamn useful. But of course, Neg 3 is Broken Wings. Destroy target artifact, enchantment, or creature flying. Because this deck has a similar problem to T-VAR. There aren't a lot of things that fly. So if somebody attacks me with flying, I'm kind of stuck for it. although it seems to handle it better than Tivar does for some reason. I don't know, maybe because of the red and the haste. Urbrass the Hidden. See, look, creatures you control have haste. He has haste. Other creatures, your creatures have haste. Well, why do I need the extra wording? Figure it out. Creatures your opponents control on the battlefield tapped. It seems a lot more elegant to me. Nature's Lore. So, already talked about all this. Let's look at the rest of the deck. Skull Rack. So as long as Titania Song isn't a play. The idea with this is, of course, if I draw a bunch of cards of Voja, especially if there are a bunch of lands, if I hit a land pocket, I'm not going to be able to get all those lands down, so I might as well rack them away for other cards that I can use better. That's the idea anyway. Okay, nope, wolves are there. Sacred Wolf. 2 and a green for 3/1 3/1 hexproof. No trample. It's only a common though, I mean, fair enough. But the elves for 3 mana, I'm getting so much more. Alurin, 2 green, and probably the reason they're doing this is they don't want to. They probably have a hard time making good wolves that couldn't be elves, because the wolves, they're not magic users, they're not warriors, they're not artificiers, they don't do the things elves, being a humanoid race, would do. So when they come into play or they do something, it needs to be plausible that a wolf would do it. Okay, as long as your turn, this thing gets tougher. For whatever reason, okay, that kind of makes sense. Who else? This guy. Okay, you spend mana, and he somehow makes another attacking wolf or a wolf indestructible, because he's a badass. Okay, fair enough. That's still kind of plausible. This guy. If he attacks and unblocked, he can deal this damage to defending players. He jumps over the other creatures. You can see that. I mean, that kind of makes sense. Packsong Pup. Beginning of combat, if you have another wolf or werewolf, they teach this guy something and he gets bigger and tougher. And when he croaks, he gains life equal to his power. So all the tribal knowledge he's learned from the other wolves that made him stronger and more powerful, when he dies, you get all that knowledge and power. You get all the tribal learnings, all the arboreal wisdom of his pack. That's why I look at it anyway. Alurin, 2 green. Any player can play a creature card with CMC 3 or less whenever the hell they feel like it and without paying its mana cost. Yep, that's good, because I've got a lot of creatures with low CMC in here. Idyllic Tutor. So, 2 and a white. Search library for an enchantment card. Show it off. Put it in your hand in the shuffle. Kestia right now is on bracket 4. I want to bring her down to bracket 3. If I take out her Enlightened Tutor and I give her Enlightened Tutor, Idyllic Tutor, actually no, if I give her the Moonblessed Cleric, if I take out the Enlightened Tutor, and I've already seen what happens when I do, she drops to bracket 3, which is where I want her to be. And if I put in Moonblessed Cleric, because it's not a game breaker, it's only a tutor, but it's not a game breaking tutor, it still fits bracket 3. So if I take Enlightened Tutor out of Kestia and I give her a Moonblessed Cleric, I'll take the Idyllic Tutor out of Voja and give him the Enlightened Tutor. Because, you know, why not? 1 mana instant speed is better than 3 mana sorcerer speed. Okay, Shalayan Halar. Angelic Elf. They just end games. They just end the fucking game. If I've got them in play and I attack with a bunch of elves, all those creatures get, and let's say there's 6 of them. I attack with 6 elves. So they all get 6 plus and plus encounters. So if Shalayan Halar are in play, all those plus and plus encounters that hit all my creatures hit one of my opponents. And if there's 6 of them, and they get, that's 36 damage. Because all he has to do is attack. Just him attacking. And if there's 6 elves, 6 plus and plus counters in each creature I control. So even the non-elves. So if I've got 6 elves and him, that would be 7. That'd be 42 damage. That would be just lethal. So yeah, they end games. There's a Llanowar Elf. There's an Elfish Archdruid. Birchlaw Rangers. Either I need to get another one for Tivar, or I need to take this one out and give it to Tivar. The thing is, the reason that because I see I need more 1 mana elves in Tivar. He really needs it. The thing is, since this is a 3-color deck, it feels like Voja uses Birchlaw Rangers, can make use of it better than Tivar can. So that's why I've left it in here, rather than giving it to Tivar. Okay, there's that Ultrageous Gravity Well. Like I said, the deck it can have problems with flying creatures. So let's bring them to the fucking ground. What I really want to do is get a Gravity Sphere, but that's about 20-30 euros. It's a Legends card. It costs 2 colorless, 1 red. It's an enchantment, and it said creatures lose flying. Full stop. So this, if a creature is attacking, then it gets dragged to the ground. If it's not attacking, it's still flying. I don't know why they wrote it that way. They must have had some reason. Because Gravity Spear just says, meh, loses flying. I'd like to get one of those. And if I get one of those, then I'll put that in here, and I'll give Tivar this foil Gravity Well. I don't want to put that there yet. Lone Wolf, Sylvan Ranger, Packsong Pup, Elvish Harbinger, Lapse of Certainty. This is just funny. 2 and a white, counter target spell. I'm keeping this in here just for the surprise factor. Just I cast it and never. Wait, white has. People forget about it. People forget white has a counter spell. Some of them remember Mana Tithe, but almost nobody remembers Lapse of Certainty. Because it's been a while. I mean, look at the frame. That was printed back in 2009. Damn. Old card. Of course, it doesn't counter the spell permanently, just puts it on top of their library. But it sorts the problem out for a turn, giving you a turn to figure out how to deal with it. Pestilent Wolf can gain Death Touch till end of turn. Fraction Gust. Destroy artifacts and enchantments. Gain 2 life for each one destroyed this way. Since I'm not relying on any artifacts, I am relying on some enchantments. But if I'm not relying on any artifacts, I've got no problem breaking the rest of them. There's the Cultivate. There's the Spirit of the Hunt. 3 mana for a 3/3 flashy wolf spirit. Comes into play, each creature you control is wolf or wolf gets +3/+0. +0/+3. Man, wouldn't it be cool if you gave them all +3/+0 for 3 mana? Holy fuck. That'd be huge. That'd be brutal. Anyway, he does what he does. Sun Titan. He just brings stuff back. I just like having him. I like him. He's cool. Wolfear Silverheart, 3 green. 4/4 Wolf Warrior. As long as he's paired with another creature, each of those creatures get +4/+4. Another wolf. Hungry Ridge Wolf. As long as you throw another wolf or werewolf, he gets +1/+0. So he becomes a 3/2 trampler for 2 mana. Not bad. Freelise. Maybe I really should put her in Tivar. +2. Created 1/1 green elf. Created a Llanowar Elf. Nick 2. Destroy target artifact or enchantment. Nick 6. Draw a card for each green creature. Maybe that's the thing. Maybe I shouldn't. Well, the problem is if I don't have enough mana creatures, she costs 5. She's not coming out for a while, so that could be an issue. Anyway, I need to remember she exists and maybe go in for Tivar. There it is. He's part wolf, part elf. He's in the deck. Fireheart Wolf. He attacks. Each creature control gains menace. That's what he says. Findhorn Wolves. The deck is all about attacking, so I want multiple ways of giving my creatures haste. Plus fires, you have Maya in a pinch. It can be used to save a creature. Let's say somebody's going to wipe the board with a damage spell. That +2/+2 might be enough to raise one of my creatures above the level that they're doing it. Let's say they're doing Starstorm for 5. Well, if I've got fires, you have Maya, I can give Voja +2/+2, and he'll survive the Starstorm. So that added utility is nice. Plus, eventually when I play the Sun Titan, he can put that back into play. Wandering Wolf, creature's power less than its power, can't block it. It's only a 2/1, so the bigger you can make it, the faster the better. Semester's End. Okay, so remember what I said about Ghostway. I don't really want to exile my creatures and have them lose the counters. This exiles the creatures, but brings them back with counters. Exile any number of target creatures and or planeswalkers you control, beginning in the next end step. They all come back into play with additional +1/+1 counter if they're a creature, additional loyalty if they're a planeswalker. So I've got Shalai and Halar, and the other creatures. And so the semester has ended because I want to save my creatures from a Wrath of God. I'll come back, and then I can immediately punish the person who wrathed. Because Shalai and Halar will see all these creatures getting a +1/+1 counter when they come into play, and then I can pummel somebody. So that's the deck. That's the deck. Let's look at green. So one of the reasons for Green Sun Zenith is to find Inigo. Is there any other green creature that I would consider, well, Eternal Witness, but not really, I would consider key enough to want the Green Sun Zenith? And would the deck be more fun if I take out the Tutor? I'm thinking it would be. So that's what I'll do. I'll take out Green Sun Zenith. I wonder how much it is now. I got Unbanned and Modern. And if I take this out, I don't think I'm playing either of the two copies I have. Maybe I should buy list it, sell it off, but then I wouldn't have it. It's an expensive card now, so it'd be hard to buy back. So I better not do that. I've done that so many times. Oh, I'm not playing with this card. I'll buy list it. I'll put it in the Magic Card Market. I'll sell it off. I'll get rid of it. Huh, I have this deck that really needs that card. I don't have one anymore. How much is it now? Holy shit, it is twice what I sold it for. Fuck that. Okay, so that's the deck. I'm going to post this before I go off on any further tangents, which you know right well I'm perfectly capable of doing.